Hey everyone, my name is Yukabeth, and this is God is Everything podcast. You guys, it feels like it's been a minute. Like, I feel like I haven't really posted, but then again, it's like, no, I just didn't post 1 week. And I think it's just so much has been happening, so much has been going on externally, internally. So it feels like it's been a minute. But, anyways, we're here, we're back, we're better. And today's title is called Are You Hungry? Are You Thirsty? And it's actually based on one verse. Today we're just going to cover one verse. It's Psalms 107, verse 9. And the Bible says, "For he satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good things." I'm going to read it again. It says, "For he satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good things." So there's actually a couple things we can get from this verse. And the first thing is, one, it's okay to be hungry. It's okay to be thirsty. Like, God gave you a heart, He formed you, He gave you a stomach. And in the process of forming your organs, the process of forming, the person that you are, it's natural for you to be thirsty. It's natural for you to be hungry because there are times where you're just longing for something. And I think it's so interesting because sometimes there's this negative connotation to being thirsty or being hungry or having a desire for something. And sometimes we shut people down. Like, you should be happy with what you have. You should be content with God. You shouldn't be longing for things. But it's like, but it's okay. It's natural because God gave us that longing. God put that longing and desire in us. It's okay to be independent. It's okay to love yourself and also desire companionship and also desire community and also desire touch. Like, I be seeing people be like so quick to fight people who be like, "Oh, I just desire a relationship," and they be like, "No, no, no, you don't need a relationship. You're just love yourself." And then the second thing, I hope I'm not like. Sometimes I'm learning how to just like just talk very calmly. Like, sometimes when I get so excited, it's like I'm screaming, I'm yelling at you, but I'm really not. Like, I'm just passionate. Like, I'm not trying to attack. I'm just all right. The second thing we get from this verse is the Bible says, "For he," talking about God, "he satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good things." So, one, God knows that you are hungry for stuff. He knows that you're longing for things. And the thing about God, He's not so out of touch that He's going to give you something that's irrelevant. I feel like sometimes we paint God to be this God who's like so unfair and He's going to give you whatever He thinks. But no, God knows you. God knows what you like. God knows what tendencies you have and will cater things that will match you, will cater things that will fulfill you, will satisfy you. And one thing about God, because he wants to give you not just things, not just whatever, He's going to take His time, right? He's going to take His time with you, and He's going to take His time so that when the thing that you have been longing for, the opportunity that you have been praying for comes, it's the perfect match. And I feel like, I don't know about you, but that's worth waiting for. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when it comes to like settling and compromising, it's easy to really just get anything. Like, it's easy to just accept trash. One thing hoarders don't realize, most of the stuff they have is trash because they take everything. They take what they see, they take what they receive. And the thing about God, He doesn't want to give you trash. He's not, like, He doesn't want you to settle and compromise who you are with what's available for you. And I remember I saw this video on TikTok, and this girl said, when you settle for the bare minimum, when you compromise, you will always get less than you settle for. And so that's why in the Bible, God is always reminding us, be patient, wait on me. Like, He's always like repeating Himself to be patient. Just wait, just wait. People who just have A, B, C, and D, when you ask them, like, how did you get this? Like, how did you just have, how do you have all of this? What they're going to tell you is they waited. That's all they did. That's why their relationship is success. They waited. And I think that's something as young people, as just people in general, we don't like to hear. But but sometimes we just have to wait. That's the answer to your problems. Just wait. And there was actually a comment that I saw on this video on TikTok, and it says something like, sometimes by being still, you're able to catch everything than by moving around, or something like that. It was along that line. But when you are patient, everything that is for you will find you, will come to you, will pin you. I think sometimes as Christians, when somebody is expressing to you that, hey, like, I'm longing for this, I want this, I hunger for this. Sometimes as Christians, we shut them down and we go, well, all you need is God. All you need is God. And that's the thing. Like, yes, God is the source, but you have to realize too that when God says, seek me first before all these other things, he's not saying that he's going to replace all those things. No, he's saying, seek me so that through me you can get those things. That's what it is. Because even when you look at the story of Abraham, there's a part where God literally talks to Abraham and says, hey, Abraham, I am your reward. You have me. I am your great exceedingly reward. But even though God tells that to Abraham, it does not mean that God does not give Abraham, what Abraham really wants, a son. Or Sarah, what they want, a son. Like, he gives them the son plus his presence. And so I think sometimes, like, I'm trying to be careful how I'm saying this. It's like, I think sometimes as Christians, we become a little insensitive to other people's needs, and we're like, oh, just go to God. But it's like, yes, go to God, because through him, he will provide you with those things. Like, God is so loving, and he's not selfish. He doesn't replace what you're longing for with himself. But then the other thing you get from this verse is, not only does God know that you're hungry, that you're thirsty, that you're longing and you desire for these things, the devil also knows this too. And the thing about the devil, he's going to give you lesser versions. He's going to give you counterfeits, right? And the thing about the devil, it's like, he quickly does it. And that's kind of how you know it's a counterfeit. Like, have you ever just wanted something so bad and then it's like, oh, well, here. And it's like, whoa. Because with the devil, he doesn't need to put thought into it. He doesn't care about you, right? He sends you counterfeits to distract you, to delay you, to literally derail you from your purpose and your destiny. And there's a difference between being hungry and being desperate. Because when you're hungry, you could wait. But when you're desperate, you tend to make desperate decisions. And part of that is just taking the first thing you see, is accepting the first things you see, and that's the thing too. Like, I feel like as human beings, like, you have to realize that God has created you with so much, to the point that you're gonna attract people. Like, wherever you go, you're gonna attract people. Okay, that's just a fact. And so when people come up to you, don't be surprised. Don't be like, that's natural. But just because people are coming up to you, just because opportunities are coming your way, people are, you're getting the calls, does not mean you need to accept the first thing. You need to accept because it's there. No. If you do that, you're functioning off of being desperate. And that's why sometimes, even when you talk to employers, the first thing they'll ask you, like, so what is your salary expectations? Because they want to see how how they can lowball you. And if they realize you don't know what you're worth, they're gonna be like, well, But one thing I've learned about God, when you wait on God and you roll with him and you spend time with God, you're going to realize that God is your biggest advocate. God is always going to, always going to ask more for you. Always ask more for you, and things that you would have settled for, behavior you would have been okay with, God is like, nah. God is like, nah. God is like, you wanted 6 figures, I want 7 figures for you. And it's like, ooh. Because God does not play about you. And if God doesn't play about you, then you don't play about you too. And the more you start hanging around with God, the more you start seeing the way he sees you, you're not gonna fall for the counterfeits the devil has for you. Because the thing about counterfeits, it looks like the real thing. It even smells like the real thing, but it's not. It's not. There's always something off. There's like, something is off. I know you want that. I know you have been praying for this, but just trust God just a little bit more. So if he's telling you to wait and everybody's like looking at you funny, people are giving you the side eye because why you not, just know what he's about to show up with is even better than what you wanted for yourself. And then the last thing I would say, which is like good news if you think about it, if you're experiencing a lot of counterfeits, a lot of things that are coming your way that it's not the real thing, that to you should be indicator that the real thing is on its way. The real thing is about to take place. You about to get the real thing. Because if that was not the case, then the devil would not be so eager to sending you all this fake stuff. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but just wait on God.